zero in a little more on that sales aspect. And I kind of want to go to one of your origin stories. And I don't think I've heard you unpack it, but I do think it was a beautiful expression of how a sale that was very important happened. And I know the word sales was kind of put in a box that you didn't look at, but given the new definition and the frame of offering being opened,
Mhm.
you ended up jumping on Mindvalley's platform. And it was actually through an A-Fest, and I believe it was the one in Thailand.
Yes.
And I feel like
Yeah.
it was after a magical conversation you had, I believe, with Vishen that led to one thing to another. So I'd love for you to kind of unpack that series of events, that from the decision to going to this
Sure.
festival and
Yeah.
how it led to getting your publishing deal, because I think a lot of people are really trying to make things work. But the way it unfolded for you was one of the most magical ways I've seen an author on board with Mindvalley. And you've had so much success while I was there, and I know you continue to have. And I don't think it's an accident necessarily.
No, it's not. There's a beautiful alignment there. So what happened was, I'd already been teaching all over the globe. By the time I met Mindvalley, but I was still not really having the impact I wanted to have. I had small groups here and small groups in that country and over here, and I had success, and I could see that I was helping people, but I wanted to help more people, right? I just love humanity, and I see this suffering that is unnecessary, and I want to help people get out of that if they can. The same thing you're doing, actually, Jason. You're just seeing people are suffering with this concept of sales, and so you're bringing them a new framework and some tools to stop suffering in that way because it's needless, right? So I had this desire, and I was just tuning in, saying, "Where is my tribe? Where are they?" And somebody happened to forward me a website page from Mindvalley because I was somebody that was redoing my page said, "Oh, just make it look like Mindvalley because they're awesome at this, in that genre." And then I got on Mindvalley's, and then I kind of saw this A-Fest thing. It was called Awesomeness Fest. I was like, "Well, that sounds awesome." And so I applied. And now the funny thing is, I actually didn't get accepted, right? So a few weeks went by, I didn't hear anything back, and I was tuning into the energy because I knew I needed to be there. And I realized, oh, I didn't get accepted. So I just telepathically, I just said hello to the person who was, you know, reviewing the letters, kind of going through and picking people. I said hello to her. What happened? Because I need to be there. I'm being called to be there. And she said, "Oh, it was just too long. Yours was so long and wordy. We just kind of didn't kind of get through it." So literally, I took the application, I deleted every other paragraph and just sent it in again. I mean, I didn't even edit the ones that I kept. And within a day or two, I was on a call getting an interview, and I got in. So sometimes, you have to knock twice. That's okay. If you know you need to do something, it's okay to knock again. And then I knew I needed to come early, so I showed up 2 days early. I was meditating and in the lobby at the hotel and saying, "Okay, why am I here so early? There's nothing happening." And I just got really clearly, "Oh, introduce yourself to Tanya, who's organizing the event, and offer to do some healing work for the staff if they need it." And I was like, "Oh, that sounds perfect. I love doing that, and I love working events." And then go to the bar tonight. And I was like, "Go to the bar? That's weird. I don't drink and not into the bar so much, but okay, I just do whatever my guides say, right?" So I just go anyway. And then uh, so two things happened there. One, I met Vishen at the bar. I was just being myself. I wasn't even thinking about a product. It never even occurred to me I could be a Mindvalley author. I was just having fun. And people were coming up to me and I was seeing their energy. And I was like, "Oh, wow, there's something interesting in your energy. You want to hear about it, or you want a little healing?" Or, I was just doing what I do. It's just natural for me. And then somebody said, "Oh, Vishen, you got to meet this crazy guy over here. He's like doing readings and healings and stuff." And he came over and we talked and we had a good time. And then as the festival progressed, I started getting taken up on my offer to help. So if somebody in the staff was having a hard time, I would come in and just talk to them, do a little energy healing, kind of, unpack things for them and help out. And by the end, Vishen said, "I don't even really know what you do exactly, but I just know that everybody loves you. We all feel connected, and we'd love to do more with you." And so I left, and I didn't even take him seriously. I just thought, "Oh, Vishen's a nice guy. He says that to everybody," which isn't true. I mean, he's a nice guy, but he doesn't say that to everybody, right? He doesn't say that to anybody unless he means it. I just said no. About a week later, I'm meditating, and my guides say, "You need to reach out to Vishen today, and if you do it within the next hour, he'll respond." I was like, "Okay, I don't know how to contact him, but I could probably figure that out." And I'm not sure what to say. So again, I just tuned in telepathically. That's kind of one of my tricks that I use, and just said hello to Vishen and said, what do you need to hear for me to connect with you? And he said, just start from a conversation we had, so I know the context. I meet a lot of people. Just get to the point, and then tell me what you want. What's your offer? And so I just did that. Those three things. Reached out real quick. 5 minutes later, might have been 10 minutes later, but Vishnu responds, and he copies the head of the products there and says, "I think we found our next author," and sign this guy up. And that was it, right? And then I kind of reflected back at the AFS conference. I did go to the talk where Mindvalley explicitly told all the authors that were trying to get in, "We don't make products with you. You would have to make it first yourself." And they basically said no to everything. And I just realized it didn't discourage me at all. I just thought, "Oh, I'm talking to the wrong person. That front door is not the door I need to go through, because it clearly has a lot of uh, check boxes I would have to check, and then it's not really what I'm doing." So I just sort of went this other way. And later Vishen even said, he goes, "Yeah, it's funny, if we had a very strict criteria on who could come in as an author, and you wouldn't have passed, but I just knew that you were there, and you were the one." And it's funny because it sounds like I was sort of creating these things, but you'd have to hear the other side of the story too. Like, Vishen undoubtedly was putting out an energy to attract somebody like me. There was coherence and alignment, and that's why when we met each other, we're like, "Oh, we have a shared, part of our visions and goals are shared, and they line up, and there'll be synergy working together." Uh, it's not about manipulating; it's about finding the people that you resonate highly with, and then connecting more with those people. And you could call that a sale, or you could just call that like lining up, right? So, the long story, but you want me to unpack it, so I kind of gave you all the details.